Hi friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel Sparkle with Jacintha. This is my very first video. I'm Jacintha Coutinho, a student teacher of Bombay Teachers Training College. Welcome students to this new digital world. Today we will learn something new and interesting. So let's get started. Our topic for today is figures of speech. We may all wonder as to what is a figure of speech and when do we use them? A figure of speech is a word or a phrase that possesses a different meaning from its literal meaning or from the meaning of the dictionary. Figures of speech are used in poems to make the language more effective and beautiful. It is like adding extra flavor to a poem or a passage. There are hundreds of figures of speech in English, but today in this class, we will focus on 5 important figures of speech. They are simile, metaphor, alliteration, repetition, and personification. Now let us look at each of it in detail. The first figure of speech is simile. A simile makes a direct comparison between two unrelated things. When two things or objects are compared, using the word like or as, we call it a simile. Now let me give you some examples of simile to make the concept clear. Her smile is as bright as the sun. Here in this sentence, her smile is compared to the brightness of the sun. We have used the word as for comparison. Let's look at one more example. John runs as fast as lightning. In this sentence, John's speed of running is compared to the speed of lightning. So we have used the word as to compare them. Now let us see for some examples of the word like. The airplane soars like an eagle. In this sentence, the flight of an airplane is compared to the flight of an eagle, and we use the word like to compare them. Let us take another example. Sammy swims like a fish. Can you guess what is Sammy swimming compared to? Yes, her swimming is compared to a fish. I hope students, the concept of simile is clear to you all. Now let us learn the next figure of speech, that is metaphor. A metaphor equates two things that states one thing is another. Metaphor helps in explaining an idea or show hidden similarities. A metaphor does not use like or as or any other comparison words. Now let us look at some examples. My baby brother is a cute little teddy bear. If you notice students, this sentence, my brother, is compared to a teddy bear, but without the use of words like or as. Let me show you one more example. The soldier was a lion in the battle. Here again, the soldier is compared to a lion, but without using the words like or as. Now let us look at some more examples. All the world's a stage. In this sentence, there is an indirect comparison made between the world and the stage. Let us take another example. The camel is the ship of the desert. In this sentence, the role of a camel is compared to a ship, as there are no other means of transport in the desert. I hope students you are now clear with metaphor. Remember, simile is comparison using the words like or as, and metaphor is comparison without using the words like or as. Now let us move on to the next figure of speech, that is alliteration. I guess students you have learnt alliteration in your lower classes. So let's now quickly go through it. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of the word. In alliteration, words don't necessarily have to be next to each other. Now let us look at some examples. She sells seashells on the seashore. In this sentence, the sound of the letter S is repeated 6 times. Let us look at one more example. Go and gather the dry leaves on the grass. In this sentence, the sound of the letter G is repeated thrice in the sentence. Thus, both these above sentences are good examples of alliteration. So students, in real life, you will find a lot of examples of alliteration around you, right from famous cartoon characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Peppa Pig, to famous brands like Coca-Cola and Kit Kat. Alliteration is everywhere. Moving ahead to the next figure of speech, we have repetition. Repetition is very easy to identify. It is a figure of speech where words or phrases are repeated. Let us have a look at some examples. Her ways are ways of gentleness. Here in this sentence, the word ways is repeated twice in the sentence. Therefore, it is an example of repetition. Let us see another example. Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. Now, you may realize that the words Johnny is repeated twice in the sentence for poetic effect. There are many nursery rhymes that are good examples of repetition, right from Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to Rain, Rain, Go Away. Repetition is everywhere. Remember students, repetition is a figure of speech where not only words but even phrases are repeated at times. Like for example, the President declared, "We will fight today, we will fight for years to come." In this sentence, the phrase "we will fight" is repeated twice. Therefore, it is a good example of repetition. Let us now move on to the last figure of speech for the day, that is personification. Personification is when a human quality is attributed to a lifeless object or to birds, animals, or plants. Personification is to give a human quality to a thing or an idea. Let us look at some examples of personification. The flowers danced in the gentle breeze. You all know students that flowers are living beings, but the quality of a human being is given to it, that is dancing. Let us now look at one more example. My dog is my hero. Here, the dog is an animal, but it is given a human quality of being a hero. Let me share with you one more example. The car jumped across the icy road. Here again, car is an object without life, but it is given the human quality of jumping. Therefore, all these sentences are good examples of personification. I hope students, personification is clear to you all. So my dear students, today we have learned 5 important figures of speech. So let us quickly brush up on these 5 figures of speech. Simile is when there is comparison using the word like or as. Metaphor is when there is comparison without using the words like or as. Alliteration is when the sound is repeated at the beginning of the word. Repetition is when words or phrases are repeated in a sentence. Personification is when non-living objects are given human qualities. I hope you have all understood the figures of speech that we have done today. I would like to end my class with a thought for the day. As we journey along, may the wisdom and knowledge within us flow and sparkle to all who come in the circle of our lives. Thank you, dear friends, for watching my video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please don't forget to press the bell icon for further updates. So stay safe and stay healthy. God bless you.